Hey everybody, Shay here. These are actually pretty fun to revisit. Here's the fourth video of this sketchbook vlog thing that I did years and years and years ago. It touches on the fact that I had already done one and then something happened with the micro SD card of the Canon camera that I was using to record. This was still pre-XEI Gaming when I was part of XEI Gaming, before it was XEI Gaming, because it didn't have a name, because until you have 100 subscribers you don't choose your name, etc, etc. Power of names and all the fantasy symbolism that goes behind that. But the point is, you don't control yourself, you don't have agency, that whole thing. Anyways, you have the power over that. Doesn't matter. Okay, the point with the camera is that I didn't even know what technology to use. Now I'm using this webcam. Everything works perfectly fine. I've got a setup that works. I got a capture software that works. But in those early days, I was like, I just want to record stuff and get it onto YouTube. So I was using a digital camera, and I guess the point is that it's an old-ish camera where when you're recording on this Canon, it has buffering issues. So I spent like $130 or something on like the best micro SD card you could get in order to make this series happen, and it would still, the buffer would still break recordings. So from here until the last episode of these sketch vlogs, it looks like time is missing. It's because it's because I'm discovering that the Canon XLR, it's the XLR, the Canon has decided to go to sleep, or has decided to go, no, I'm done, or there's like a buffering issue and it goes, nah, I tripped over something, I'm not gonna record anymore. And I would keep drawing because I wasn't looking at the camera. Now with a webcam or something, like I could probably set this up completely different now, where I could just have a web camera pointing down, I could see what I was recording while I was doing it, I could just look up to the side, you know what I'm saying? So it makes it kind of an intriguing possibility to maybe come back to. I got an open surface here, just move the keyboard, and I have a kind of a setup here, so we'll see. That's pretty much all I wanted to talk about. That goddamn Canon XLR micro SD buffering mayhem that made me effectively stop recording these. I got so frustrated that I stopped doing them. I took months off, and then I came back and I created the XEI Gaming, and then I came back and re-earthed this thing. There's been a bloated history with me and flipping through channels in the last 4 to 5 years. Anyways, enjoy the video. Heyo everybody, XEI here for another episode of Once Upon a Time Lapse. This is episode 4, titled River and Rain. I'm thinking that this title likely came from the fact that I had done a drawing prior to this one. You can kind of see it through the paper there. I was really happy with the end result of the last drawing, and not that I didn't want to draw some more, but you know, it really sucks when you think you're recording for half an hour only to find out that the micro SD card in your camera basically gets tired and shuts off. Like it over buffers or something in the Canon XLR, and this was happening a couple times during these first few drawings, and so I think that's where the somber mood of this whole piece came from, was the fact that I had already taken in so many inputs from the prior drawing that I felt like it wasn't as automatic. And I do really respect the idea of hitting that blank page without any preconceived notions really early in the morning, so that whatever comes out of my head is very fresh and very raw for the moment. But what can you do? I drew a squiggly line which turned into a body, which could have gone completely wrong, but thankfully it all worked out, and so I made it a pregnant sun body. And interestingly enough, the sun is usually depicted as a male symbol that was introduced during the ages when patriarchy started taking over all the belief systems and whatnot, but many original cultures see the sun as a feminine symbol actually, and a goddess. And I always see the sun as transgender. I see the sun and the moon as transgender. What's a label, right? Don't let anything define you. Just do what you want to do. Be happy. Now I go on to write the lessons we learn when the house starts to burn. I'll burn until I'm done. I actually had to Google both of those lines because I wasn't entirely sure if I was listening to something that triggered that phrase, but I can't find anything in Google. And I think what it represents is the idea that I committed to do an automatic piece for Once Upon a Time Lapse, and god damn it if I wasn't going to get it done. So commit. You know, if you make a commitment, have some integrity, be your word, stick to it, just follow through, get to the end. There's always a reward at the end. Don't give up. And that's it. Explore, engage, and inspire. Peace, everyone.